Recent years have seen a huge influx of female empowerment. In 2017, we had the Women's March protesting President Donald Trump, as well as the explosive Me Too movement that drew women together in solidarity. And in 2018, we saw a record-breaking number of women elected into Congress after the midterm elections. It seems as though significant progress is being made for women all across the country. So what is it, if anything, that we're still missing? The answer is made obvious with a quick trivia test. Who founded the Me Too movement? Many continue to credit Alyssa Milano, an actress whose tweet gained national traction as a response to accusations against Harvey Weinstein. However, the reality is that the movement was actually founded by Tarana Burke, an African-American civil rights activist and feminist around 10 years prior to Milano. To this day, however, many are still unaware of her long-time efforts, and she largely continues to go uncredited. How much is the gender pay gap? You may have heard some variation of the fact that women make around 78 cents to a man's dollar. This number isn't wrong, but the truth is that the gender pay gap can't be defined by a single ratio. Because when you look at Black women, they only earn 64 cents to a man's dollar, and for Hispanic women, only 56. Which demographics of women suffer the most abuse? By now, you've probably gotten the point. It's sadly unsurprising that women of color experience a higher rate of sexual violence, and lower-income women experience some of the highest rates of sexual violence seen. Not to mention, according to the 2015 US transgender study, 47% of transgender women surveyed were sexually assaulted in their lifetime. Let's revisit our initial question. What is it, if anything, that we're still missing? What we're missing is the understanding that although all women do indeed face oppression, some women face more than others, and sexism is a complex three-dimensional topic that reaches far beyond just gender. This all leads us to April of 2017, when Merriam-Webster added a brand new word to their dictionary, intersectionality, defined as the complex cumulative manner in which the effects of different forms of discrimination combine, overlap, or intersect. The term has become increasingly popular in recent years, especially in regards to what is now referred to as intersectional feminism. Intersectional feminism is essentially a movement that pushes for the recognition of the fact that not all women share the same experiences, and women of color, of low income, or of the LGBTQ community can have significantly different experiences than traditional mainstream feminists. The word was initially coined in 1989 by American professor Kimberly Crenshaw, who explained it as the view that women experience oppression in varying configurations and in varying degrees of intensity. While Crenshaw was still a law student, she began to see that race and gender were not two completely separate issues, and saw that women of color were doubly discriminated against, especially in the field of law. Because despite increased recognition for sexism, racism, homophobia, etc., society still falls short in reconciling all these forms of discrimination together. We are getting slightly better at dealing with some of these problems individually, but when they are combined, it becomes far more difficult to navigate. This is precisely why understanding intersectional feminism is so key to moving the women's rights movement forward. If we don't understand problems unique to certain subgroups of women, we aren't understanding women's issues. Yes, it is undeniable that sexual assault and harassment are huge problems in Hollywood, but if we let the faces of the feminist movement continue to stay only white, wealthy, and famous, are we truly fighting for the equality of all women? Or are we leaving some behind?